Okay, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining me today for this webinar. We had a momentary technical difficulty, but that should be resolved now. So you should all be able to hear and see everything. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Gina Campanella. I am the principal attorney of Campanella Law Office in Midland Park, New Jersey. And I have been in my private practice since 2015. I have been in practice since 2005, and my practice focuses on representing businesses, small businesses, solo medical practices, startups. I have a passion and a focus on small business, but I do represent businesses of all sizes. I also have a side of my practice that focuses on residential and commercial real estate, which we often find goes hand in hand with representing our business clients. I have my JD from Seton Hall University, Masters of Healthcare Administration, also from Seton Hall University, and I am a fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives. And most recently, and what was really the inspiration for today's webinar, I earned my foundation certificate in social media, also from Seton Hall University. So I personally use a lot of social media marketing for my firm and my business, and I will show you where to follow those pages at the end of the presentation. And I'm very frequently getting asked questions by my clients and colleagues about how I do it, how I know that it's effective, or how I know that something's not effective, and what are some pitfalls to watch out for. So today we're going to talk a little bit about why social media, the basics of social media, how to use social media to your advantage, how to know what's working and what's not working, and then we're going to talk about some of the top legal pitfalls that you can find yourself experiencing when you're utilizing social media marketing and how to avoid those pitfalls. So first things first, why social media? Now, if anyone has any questions throughout the presentation, we will have time for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. So please feel free to put your questions in the chat box. And I will answer those questions at the end of the presentation. So why social media? Social media is current. You can update clients instantly. You can provide information instantly. You can link to current events. You can interact with other similar businesses or referral resources. And it's a very easy, simple way for you to get information out to your clients and to your followers. Social media, a lot of people are very intimidated by it, but trust me, once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. And we are going to talk about some of the apps and some of the programs that are out there that can help you make it easy. One of the biggest things that you should be looking for when you're utilizing social media is you should be utilizing it to help drive traffic back to your main site and help drive traffic back to your website, your bio page, anything like that, because that's what's going to help increase your search engine optimization for your own website. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we go forward in the presentation. And finally, the best and my favorite part of social media marketing, it's free. It is completely free. You do not have to pay to be on social media. You do not have to pay to post to be on social media. You do not have to pay to reach people on social media. Now, can you pay? Are there targeted advertisements? Are there paid advertisements? Absolutely. I find them to be completely useless and a waste of money. If you are implementing the things that we're talking about today, then you will not need to pay for targeted advertising on any of these platforms. Okay, so here are just some of the platforms that you can be utilizing: Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, right? These are the big ones. How do you decide which ones to use? That all depends, okay? Those of you who are on the line who work with me, you know I hate giving the answer, that depends. It's such a typical attorney answer, but in this case, it's the right answer. What platform is best for you and your business really depends on a lot of factors. Mostly, who is your target market? Okay, what is your target market's age, geography, okay, location? What is your target market's lifestyle? For example, my target market is adults in small business who, are working during the day, who are at their desk. I am selling a service. I'm not selling a click and buy product, okay? And my services are unfortunately a necessity when people get into a situation where they need assistance. Some people do view them as a luxury when they're in business, but I trust me, they are a necessity for small businesses. You do not need to be on every platform, and you are going to drive yourself crazy if you try to be on every platform. So when you're determining what platforms to be on, you really want to focus in on, are you selling a product or a service? Is your market luxury or necessity? And who is your target market? So for example, I have found that for me and my firm, the best platforms for me to be on are LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. That targets all of my appropriate age market, okay? The younger people tend to be on Instagram, more middle-aged and tend to be on Facebook. And then you have some people who are a little bit older, all they're on is LinkedIn. That's the only way they're gonna find you. They feel that social media is acceptable because it's a business platform, nothing else is, okay? So you have to decide for yourself. If you are looking for a younger demographic, if you are in the arts, something like that, you may find that TikTok is a very appropriate social media platform for you. So the purpose today is not for me to tell you what social media platforms you should be on. You have to kind of decide that for yourself and do a little bit of research about where your target audience is. But once you decide what those platforms are, how can you maximize your utilization? Okay, so it's time to get social. You've done your research, you've picked your platforms, and you're ready to get social. You want to set up all new and completely separate profiles for your business. I think that it is totally inappropriate and can be tragic to a business to mix personal social media with professional social media. Okay, you want to make sure that your professional social media is completely separate. Some social media platforms will make you link your professional to a personal, but your personal can still be private. So you want to make sure you're setting up all new, clean profiles specifically for your professional forward-facing networks or your business. When you set these up, you want to make sure you have uniformity in your branding, your colors. Make sure your logos are everywhere. Put up photos of yourself, your employees, your staff, your product, okay, your location, if you're selling a location-based service. You want to make sure you have all of these things up there. You want somebody who's following you to be able to get an idea of who you are, who your business is, and what you potentially have to offer them in a matter of minutes when they're looking at your profile. And the uniformity in branding, colors, logos, etc., is going to help you be recognized across platforms. You always want to have your open hours and your contact info on your social media as well. I can't tell you how many times I've found a really great company that I think I want to do business with on social media, and then I go to the about section or the profile page and there's absolutely no way to contact them. I can't even tell if they're in New Jersey from their profile. So you want to make sure that you get as much as you possibly can in there and make sure that your branding is uniform. You've got your brand colors, your logos, everything. And we're going to talk about a little bit more about branding as you start to post. Now, if you're not at the point yet with your business where you've even started thinking about branding, that's an entire different webinar, entire different day. But that's certainly something, if you'd like to reach out, we can assist you with as you put things together. So there are a couple platforms where there's different ways you can sign up. I want to just briefly go over those. In Facebook, okay, you can have a personal profile, right, which we already said we're not using a personal profile for business. You can have a page or you can have a group. I recommend a page for businesses. Pages are public facing. Anyone can follow a page. The posts are public. You can limit the ability of people to comment on your page. You can put in protections so that comments have to be approved before they're actually posted. People can actually comment directly on your page. You can get reviews on your page, okay? People can go in and say, do they recommend you? Do they not recommend you? And give comments as to why. This is the page, in my opinion, is really the best way for a business to be set up on Facebook. You may also want to additionally have a group, okay? Groups are more private. Members have to request permission to be in the groups. And once you're in the group, anything you post is accessible to anyone in the group, but you can also choose to make a group private. Businesses that typically benefit from having a group in addition to a page may be businesses that are selling, click and purchase products. They want to have sales or specials for VIP customers, something like that, but they want to do that in the group. They don't want to offer that on the public facing page. They want to make sure they're rewarding their most loyal customers and clients in that group. We have a lot of people with direct sales as well who have groups. And I am not one of those people that believes that direct sales companies are all scams. It's a perfectly viable business model, and you can have scams just like with any other business. You just have to be careful with what you're looking at. But typically groups are good for those types of businesses and for, click and purchase type businesses. So when you're going into Facebook, again, you're not using your personal profile, you are using a public facing page. Now, one thing I'll say about this is some people have said to me before when I have said, well, why can't I just use my personal profile? I don't post anything bad. I don't post anything controversial. You don't, but your friends may, and they may tag you. So that can be highly problematic. So you're gonna notice a recurring theme throughout today's webinar is keeping your personal and your professional separate online. Okay, so LinkedIn. There are also unique options on the LinkedIn platform. You have a personal profile on the LinkedIn platform, and then you can also have a company page or profile. There are also groups on LinkedIn. I don't think that they are useful. I think they get lost in the weeds. But I do recommend everyone have a complete, thorough personal profile on LinkedIn for yourself individually, and then also make a page for your company on LinkedIn. Again, this is all free. And your goal is that your personal profile is up there. It has all the information about you that anybody could ever want. Your company page is up there and it's got all the information about your company. And the idea is to get people to follow not only you, but also your company and see, what kind of synergy and connections might be there between and among you. In Instagram, you have two different ways that you can make posts on Instagram. You can make an Instagram post, or you can put something up as your Instagram story. Now, what I will say is, and we'll talk a little bit more about this as well in a few moments, Instagram and Facebook make it so easy because Instagram and Facebook now are both owned by Meta and they are linked. So you can go into Instagram, you can post something on your feed in Instagram and just check a little box that says post this on Facebook too. And you're posting on both platforms at the same time. Posts stay forever. They're on your profile forever, okay, unless you delete them. Stories will disappear after 24 hours unless you add them to a highlight album. And stories can actually be more interactive. In an Instagram post, you cannot have any live links. Okay, and we'll talk about how to put links in your Instagram and your social media profiles. Instagram stories, you can have live links. So for example, when I was marketing this webinar, not only did I do an Instagram post where people could painstakingly copy letter for letter the registration link and then type it into their internet browser to sign up, but I also posted a story where people could just click right on the link and sign up if they wanted to. So you want to kind of figure out which one is going to serve your purposes better, and what you're looking to get from that post when you're deciding to go post versus story in Instagram. So like I said, Instagram and Facebook, they make it super easy. They are both Meta platforms now. They are both owned by the same person. So they are very easy to link together, and posts through Instagram can be published to both Instagram and Facebook at the same time. Now you've got all these great profiles set up. You're on the internet and you have no one following you. Well, maybe you have 2 or 3 people following you, a couple of friends, some family members. How do you find your followers, right? Because none of this works unless you have people actually following you and viewing your posts. So the first thing you're going to do, invite as many friends and family as you possibly can. Hey, I just put my business up online. Could you do me a favor? Give me a like, give me a follow. You know, when I post something, like it, interact with it, help me get a more natural following from the platform. You also want to make sure that any of your referral sources or anyone that you do business with now knows that you are on social media. Go find their social media and follow them. They will follow you back. Same thing with similar businesses. Now, not necessarily the competition, but complementary businesses. Find complementary businesses, follow them. They will follow you back. Okay, you want to also, where there's the opportunity on particular platforms, you want to tag or share to local groups or business groups, and we will go over how to do that. You want to tag or share your posts to local groups or business groups and invite people who see it to follow you for more. You always want to make sure your social media handles are click-through on your website, so somebody who goes to your website can follow you on social media. Include them in your business email signature, okay? And you always want to be following and interacting. Being on social media is not a spectator sport. You want to follow other people who are the same or similar to what you do. Again, not competition, but complementary. And you want to make sure you're interacting with them. They will follow you back, their followers will follow you, and you interacting will help you get interaction. So it is not a spectator sport. You cannot just create these platforms and schedule posts and then just ignore them and not do anything. You're going to have a much better experience. You're going to get a lot more bang for your buck out of social media if you are also following and interacting with others. So one of the things people ask me all the time is, well, how often do I have to post? Do I have to be on there every day? Do I have to be posting multiple times a day? What's too much? That if I post too much, people are going to give up on me. They're going to leave the group. They're going to leave my page. They're going to stop following me. The general rule of thumb from analysis of various companies, both large and small, and how they naturally gain followers and gain a following is that you should be posting at least 3 or 4 times a week. Does it have to be original content 3 or 4 times a week? No, of course not. It can be highlighting a member of your staff. It can be a new news item or an update about the business. It can be an interesting article that you found online that pertains to your business, your service, or your product that you want to share with your viewers. It can be anything, okay? Obviously relevant to your business and within the guidelines that we're going to talk about as we get closer to legal pitfalls. When you're doing this, you also want to select different days and different times of day. You don't always want to be putting out your new posts on the same days at the same time. Why? Because you're only going to hit the same people who happen to be online on those days at those times. You want to vary it up a little bit, okay? Sometimes you post in the morning, sometimes you post in the afternoon. When is your target demographic online? Okay, if your target demographic is online between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., you should have some posts going up between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. If your target demographic is people who are sitting in offices between 9 and 5 and they do not look at their computers when they go home, then you need to be putting up your posts between 9 and 5 on weekdays. Okay, so you need to know when is your target demographic online and try to push out your posts during those times. You always want to offer value in your posts, okay? You don't want your posts to simply be, you know, hey, here's a picture, here's a funny meme, something like that. And sure, you absolutely can have some posts like that. I've posted funny jokes I've seen about HIPAA, because I am a certified HIPAA administrator, so I help a lot of my physician clients with HIPAA and things like that, just things I think will give my clients and my followers a laugh. But you always want to offer value in your posts. You want people to feel like they're getting value from following you. And if you're offering that value, when they need you and your service or your product, they're going to be more likely to think of you. Because if you have value in your posts, they're going to be reviewing those valuable posts and they're going to be retaining the value from the post. But again, don't give all the value. Don't be giving away your service or product for free. Give just enough that people get value, but they also understand why they now need to give you some money for continued value, if and when they find them in the position, themselves in the position that they need your product or service. You always want to be using tags, which is with the @ sign, and hashtags, which is with the pound sign. Okay? Like we said, how do you find those ideal times and dates? All right. You know, when I first started doing social media marketing, I thought the times and days that I would get most interaction from my demographic were a little bit different than what I learned that they were. Okay. What you need to do, all of these platforms have ways that you can track your interactions on your posts. The most important thing you want to be looking at is views. Okay, how many eyeballs and sets of unique eyeballs are getting on your posts? If you have a post that has 20 likes and 100 views, that's not as good as a post that has 500 views and 2 likes. Okay, because more people have viewed that post. Ideally, you'd like a post with 500 views and 20 likes, but the views are more important than the likes. The likes and the comments will come. That will then also exponentially increase your views. But especially at the beginning, you want to make sure you're getting the views. And if you're not getting a lot of views, try a different day, try a different time, try some different hashtags. So you want to study and utilize those analytics that most of the social media platforms will give you. Okay, so what are tags? Tags are when you utilize that @ symbol and then you type someone else's social media name or handle right after it. And in most platforms, if you're tagging them properly, they will turn blue. You'll be able to click them. And then what that does is it will also give you exposure to their followers. They will be notified that you have tagged them. And if they really enjoy what you had to say, they will typically like it and share it themselves to their networks. Now you're multiplying your exposure. Okay, so anyone related to the post, you're always tagging anyone related to the post. So for example, if you and your employees decide to go do a charity walk on a Saturday morning, you're going to take a group photo of you and your employees. You're going to post that to social media and you're going to tag the town you were in. You're going to tag the local organization that arranged for that event. You're going to tag the national organization that arranged for that event. Okay, any important individuals, if they were there. Okay, you want to make sure that you are tagging anyone related to your post, not only because that's, in my opinion, being a good social media citizen, if you will. We're all out there trying to get eyeballs on us. So by tagging other people, you're helping them do that and they will return the favor. But it's also, again, expanding your reach beyond your own followers. Tag other people or pages who may be interested in your post. Okay, so for example, when I make a lot of my healthcare related posts, I will tag the healthcare organizations to which I am general counsel. I'll tag the New Jersey Emergency Nurses. I'll tag the New Jersey Emergency Physicians. I will tag the New Jersey Nurses Association, okay, because I know that members of those groups as well will be interested in what I have to say to that post. Now, also, if you're on a platform where you can share posts from a page to a specialty group, a society group, a local community group of which you're a member, you want to make sure you're always sharing those posts. You're going to get followers from sharing those posts, and you're going to get views from sharing those posts. So again, using myself as an example, the post that I made marketing today's webinar, I shared it to 3 different local business groups on Facebook. And after I did that this morning, I had about 10 additional people registered just from those sharing in those groups for my webinar today. Okay, the one caveat to this is you always want to be very careful to vet everyone who you're tagging and the groups that you're sharing to. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You don't want to end up in a situation where you're tagging someone or sharing to a group, and then all of a sudden you find out that the person you tagged has a lot of hate speech on their page, or the group you shared to, okay, is, you know, generally a group of the mindset that they are very anti whatever you are marketing. So you always want to take the time before you start doing all this crazy tagging and sharing to vet the pages, the groups, the other businesses, the other people that you are tagging, and make sure that they are not participating in anything that is going to be damaging to your reputation. Because once you tag those people, you are associating them with yourself and your business. Now, hashtags. Hashtags are incredibly underused. Hashtags basically, and I think it's because a lot of people don't know what they do. Hashtags help you appear in searches based on the topics or words that are in your tag. In my opinion, every business should have a hashtag specifically for their business, and it should be used in every single post. Okay, so for example, the unique hashtag for my business is GLC Business Law. I selected that and I utilized that because that is my website, okay, and it's also unique. If I had just put New Jersey Business Law or Tri-State Business Law or, you know, National Health Law or something like that, it would not be unique to my website and to my business. So GLC Business Law, which happens to be my website, is unique to my business. Anybody who's searching for my website, anybody who, you know, pops my email into a search bar to try to find out more about me, GLC Business Law, the hashtag, is also going to pop up results to those searches. Okay, so you want to pick a unique hashtag for your business, and you want to use it on every post. You also want to include broad and multiple topical hashtags on every single post. So if you are posting something about a product, hashtag the name of the product, hashtag the category of the product, hashtag the type of people that use the product. Okay, put all of these in there, put them at the end. You will get eyeballs and viewers who are not your followers, and you will typically gain followers as well. All right, content do's and don'ts. Okay, keep the personal and the professional separate. You always want to, and now we're kind of getting into these legal pitfalls. You want to keep your personal and professional separate always. Have clear social media rules for employees as to company social media. And this is not only just who can and cannot post on company social media, but what should you and should you not be tagging company social media in? What should you and should you not be commenting on company social media? Okay, you always want to post your accomplishments. I know a lot of us have a hard time. We feel like we're bragging. We feel like, you know, we're being obnoxious. You always want to post your accomplishments. If you don't tell your customer base about your accomplishments, who will? But you also want to be careful not to exclusively constantly just be posting about yourself and how wonderful you are. People will also tire of that. So in addition to posting your accomplishments, you also need to provide informative posts and like I said, posts of value. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're not only utilizing these posts just to get eyeballs on you on social media, but you are utilizing them to drive traffic to your website. This will increase your SEO or your search engine optimization when people are simply Googling for you or someone like you. The way you do that is if any time it's appropriate for you to include the link to your website and have something refer back to your website, you want to do that and you want to encourage people to click the link. Always try to expand your reach, okay? Ask questions. Use poll features in social media that allow you to post polls. Do something to make the post interactive. Encourage people to interact with your post rather than just looking at it. Again, this is going to get you more eyeballs. It's going to get you higher up in people's news feeds. That all too familiar word, algorithm. The algorithm is going to sense that interaction that you're getting and put you higher up in other people's feeds so they can see you. You can always do incentives for comments and shares, incentives for gaining followers, okay? Hey, we're so close to 1,000 followers. If we hit 1,000 followers by midnight on Saturday, we're gonna give the 1,001 follower, you know, a free box of chocolates when they next time they come into the store, something like that. We're going to send you a $10 gift card, something like that, okay? And again, like I said, it's very important to interact on other pages with a similar audience, like and share other people's posts. If you're not doing it for other people, they're not going to do it for you. And again, include your social media handles in all of your marketing. So now let's talk about some of these legal pitfalls that you want to avoid, okay? Slander and libel, and we're going to talk about each of these individually. Client relationships, do not unknowingly cross the line on socials. Copyright, guarantees, kids, and if you're a licensed individual, there's going to be extra things that apply to you. All right, so slander and libel. All right, slander is a spoken statement, videos, lives, things like that. Libel is a written statement. These statements are either spoken or published by you, and they are false and damaging to the subject of the statement. This one's pretty simple. Do not post or repost anything that you do not know to be 100% true. Do not get into the habit of posting negative things about competitors. Do not get into the habit of posting things, negative things about competitive products or services. Your social media should all be about you and how amazing you are and how wonderful your service is and convincing people why they need you. It should not be knocking others down, okay? Because you get into this problem where you might run into a situation where you say or publish something that you believe to be true and it is not, and someone can prove it's false and it is damaging to them, and then you're in a world of trouble. Okay, the next one, client relationships. You want to make sure that your social media always has clear statements that anything offered on your social media is not intended to create a client relationship. This is more important in some professions than others. Some professions, you really don't have to worry about that. It's not a client relationship type of exchange. But if you have the type of business where it is a client relationship type of exchange, you want to make sure that you have all those caveats, okay? And do not answer specific quick questions in comments or direct messages. Whenever you get quick questions like that, the response should always be, hey, call my office, let's make a consultation. Call me, make an appointment with me, we can go over it, okay? You should not get in the habit of, first of all, giving away your services for free and giving them away for free in such a casual environment. Copyright. This is a huge one, okay, that I see all the time. First and foremost, make sure that you are appropriately protecting anything original of yours that you publish, articles, blog posts, things like that. If you are unsure how to do that, that is certainly something that, you know, your attorney can assist you with, your business attorney, talking you through how to make sure that you are protecting anything original of yours that you publish. Additionally, do not ever use photos, music, or images that you did not create yourself or pay for the ability to use. I know it's incredibly tempting to just do a search. For example, we just had the Juneteenth holiday pass. A lot of companies were posting their support of Juneteenth, which was wonderful to see. I know I personally put something up there for my own firm, encouraging my followers to learn about Juneteenth and what it is and what it's about, since it's so new. But I saw a lot of people with photos that they had clearly just Google searched Juneteenth, picked a picture, saved it, and reposted it on their social media. They were very likely committing a copyright violation. Okay, so these are some examples. I don't have any interest in any of these apps. These are just apps I use that I found to be very user-friendly and very inexpensive. These are examples of apps where you can either create your own media or utilize photos, clip art, things like that, that you are paying for the ability to use, and you will not be violating copyright. So Canva, you can create your own. They have photos on there. Hootsuite, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about when we get towards the end, but they also have photos that you, by your membership, you're paying for the ability to use. PicCollage, you can create your own collages, and then WordSwag, you can also create your own images, but they have photos and clip art and backgrounds and things that you can utilize, and you're paying for the ability to utilize those copyrighted images through your membership in the app. Guarantees. You never, ever, ever in social media or any other kind of advertising want to guarantee success, guarantee results, guarantee against defects, or guarantee pricing. If you are going to have one of these guarantees as part of your business, please, please, please make sure that you review it with your attorney and make sure that it is appropriately legally written and that you are not opening yourself up to significant problems by offering that guarantee. Okay, kids. We have to talk a little bit about kids here. There's two different types of kids, your own kids and other people's kids. Be very cautious when you're posting your own kids and any personal or identifying information about your children's location, routine, etc. Okay, this is not only a general safety concern, but this is also a very real legal concern. A lot of the attempts to scam people that we have seen have originated with people learning about families, children, routine, where they should be on social media. Okay, so there may be appropriate times when you want to share with your business social media followers a little bit about your family or your children, and that's fine. Just be very careful if you do choose to do that, not to provide too much about location, routine, your children's routine, and anything like that. Please do not forget that all of these business social media modalities are public. The whole point is that they're public. Okay, other people's kids. You never ever post other people's kids without their express permission. For example, when would this come up? Okay, you are, your business is the type of business where you host children's birthday parties. Okay, and you take pictures of those children's birthday parties and you post them on social media for marketing purposes. Do not do that unless you have the parent of every single child that is identifiable in that picture sign something saying that you are allowed to use a photo of their child for marketing purposes. Okay, for the reasons we discussed under your own kids, people are very particular about having their children posted to social media, reasonably so, and you should absolutely never, ever be posting other people's kids without that express permission. Again, your business attorney can help you put that together. They can help you figure out how to get that express permission. and they can help you figure out how to make sure you have that express permission. And quite frankly, they can also give you ideas if you don't have that express permission, how, all is not lost, and, creative ideas to be able to post without seeing the children's faces or things like that, and still be able to utilize that. Okay, and finally, the last legal pitfall that I want to talk about is critical for a lot of my clients. As I said, I represent businesses, small businesses, startups, and I represent many businesses that are not particular to licensed professionals. But I also do have a specialty in my business practice where I work with healthcare providers and physicians and other licensed individuals. So if you require a license to practice your profession, you always, always, always need to make sure you are checking with your licensing board or whoever the entity is that licenses you, that gives you your license to do what you do or sell what you sell, and make sure you know what the exact guidelines are as to how you are and are not permitted to advertise. Okay, there are always special and more restrictive provisions that apply to licensed professionals. And again, this is something that your business attorney should be helping you parse through and helping you figure out if you're unsure how to find it yourself. Okay, so some shortcuts. A lot of this seems very overwhelming, like, oh my goodness, Gina just told me that I have to be on all these social media platforms, I have to be looking at analytics, I have to be posting at all different times of day. One of the things I do for my mental health is at the end of the workday, I put down my phone. Great, I do the same. Okay, what I do is I utilize apps that link multiple platforms and allow me to post all of them at once. And when I utilize these apps also typically allow me to schedule posts for later in the day, later in the week. Okay, so typically when you see my posts going off on my social media for the week, those have all been scheduled in one shot in about 30 minutes or so on a Monday morning for the balance of the week. The app I particularly use is one called Hootsuite. Again, I have no allegiance to these apps. Do your own research, find what works for you, but that may be a good place to start to take a look. Now, I will caution you, when you use these social media shortcuts, if you are tagging people, that gets a little bit hairy. You may actually, once the post publishes, have to go to your individual social media accounts and make sure the tags went through properly. If they didn't, it's very simple to just edit your post and retag the person. Photo retouching, do not overdo it, but sometimes you may, there may be a picture that the lighting isn't good, there's a weird shadow on your face, you need to crop it a little bit, or you want to embellish it. The background is, a dingy gray conference room, maybe you want to embellish it. I think all of that is great. You want your pictures to be interesting, you want to feel confident in what you're posting. But don't overdo it. You also don't want people looking at your pictures and laughing because you don't even look like yourself. You don't want your clients walking into a room and not recognizing you because you look nothing like the ridiculously photoshopped photos that you've been posting. So my feeling is I'd rather you retouch than not post at all, but just caution you, don't overdo it. Those kinds of things can backfire. And your clients want to see you. They want to see you. They want to see who you are. They don't want to see some fake caricature of you. Again, utilize all your options that will allow posts to be scheduled in the future. That's going to ease your time and your pressure. And then also, one of the most critical things, you see this a lot actually on Instagram, because you cannot put live links in Instagram posts. A lot of times you'll see something that says link in bio. Every single social media bio typically has a place where you can put a website. You can only put one website. You cannot put more than one website. If you want to put the home page for your business, great. If you want to put the shopping page for your business, great. If you find that you want to put multiple links and you want people to be able to get to multiple links, then there are apps out there where you can get one link that when people click on that link, they will then be brought to a new page with multiple links. The one I personally use is called Linktree. And again, it just happens to be the first one I stumbled upon that I found to be very user-friendly and I liked. I'm in no way endorsing it. Do your research, find out what you like for yourself. But if you go to my social media pages and you click on my link in bio, it will bring you to a page that then has other links, and you can choose. Do you want to click and go to my blog? Do you want to go to my homepage? Do you want to look at my other social media pages? And then I also will update that. For example, there is a link to register for this webinar in that link tree. Okay, so that's a good way to take advantage of that link in bio option to bring people to many links. If you're selling a product, if you sell multiple products, your link tree can be links to where people can go to buy your different products. Okay, and then finally, I just want to mention Magic Eraser. It is one that I very recently discovered. It helps you remove backgrounds from photos. Okay, so let's say you took a really great marketing photo at an event, at a conference, something like that, and then you notice there's somebody behind you picking their nose, or pulling their pants up, or in the middle of a sneeze, or something like that. This is the type of app that will let you erase that person and put forward a much more presentable photo on your social media. So we have about 10 minutes left. I would like to please open it up to questions and answers. Like I said, today was a bit more of an overview. Depending on the questions and the answers and feedback I get from today, you may see future webinars that are scheduled that have to do with more of these topics in a bit more detail. But please go ahead, and now is the time to put those questions in the question box for me, and I will go ahead and answer them for you. Okay, so I have a question here. How is a handle different from a hashtag or a tag? Okay, that's a really good question. So a handle is your actual identifier name that your account is under on your social media. So for example, you'll see at the bottom of this slide where I've provided you with all of my contact information, my Facebook handle is @GLC Business Law. My Instagram handle is the same, and my LinkedIn company handle is the same. And I do recommend that. I do recommend that if you can get a unique handle for your company that is the same across all of your social media platforms, that's going to be excellent for branding. It's going to be an excellent way for people to find you. They don't have to think, okay, what are they on Facebook? What are they on this? What are they on that? It's going to be the way people learn to tag you and recognize you. A hashtag is simply that #, and for me it's the same. I also include a hashtag GLC Business Law. Sometimes I'll include a hashtag healthcare law or real estate law, or hashtag New Jersey real estate, things like that, which will help me appear in searches about those topics. Oh, this is a great question. So this question is, what do you use to edit short videos to post? So I actually very recently started doing this, and I have the app that I tried that I have been using. It's called InShot, InShot, and that's been a really great app. I have found it to be very user-friendly. They have background music that you can put on your videos that you're paying to utilize. You're not violating copyright by utilizing it. And you can also speed up your videos. So if you are selling a product and you want to show people how the product works, but it takes you 5 minutes to show them how it works, you can record that 5-minute video and then cut it down to a minute and speed it up. So, and put some music to it, and that'll get a lot of eyes on it, and you'll get a lot more people paying attention to that quick video with the music in the background than if you just posted a 5-minute video of yourself talking. Okay, so this is a really good question. I already have great SEO for my personal name, but I recently changed the name of my business. Do you have any suggestions on building the SEO for the new name and to get people connected to the new site? I think what you have to do for that, because I actually went through that a bit myself. I opened my own firm in 2015. I was with a partner for a year and a half, and then went back to my own firm with all of the same branding and logos and things like that that I had had before. So I think what you really need to do there is, for a while, you kind of have to be utilizing both a little bit. And I think for you, the, slowly transitioning your current social media that's under your personal name to the new business name would be great. And then eventually, once people are used to the new business name, they're used to looking for you under the new business name, then you would just change those handles for that social media. Update the branding first, start posting, but particularly for you, I would suggest always hashtagging all of your posts with the new unique handle that you've selected for your business with a new name, and also hashtag everything with your personal name. Eventually, you'll be able to drop that personal name, but for now, I think that's particularly critical for you to make sure that you have eyes on all of your posts. Okay, so let's see. For some reason, my I have to apologize. I can't get the window to pop out, so I hope I'm not missing anyone. Let's see. I know I had another question pop up. Okay. I see. Okay. Here's the next question that I almost missed. The question is, should we watermark, put a logo, put our handle on images or content we post, or would that be too much? I think that a watermark on images or content you post, I wouldn't want you putting your watermark or your logo on images or content that you post unless you created that image or content, it's your original creation, or it's something that you paid to be able to use. Like, for example, if you look through my social media, you'll see that sometimes I have an image of something and maybe I threw my logo on there. If my logo is on something, it's either a picture of me that I have paid the photographer to turn over copyright of that picture to me. It is, a picture of my office. It's something I created. It's something I know I have paid for the copyright for. Or it's one of these images from these apps where by paying to purchase these apps or be a member of these apps, I am also paying for the ability to use those photos that they provide. So you want to be very careful that you're not putting your watermark or your logo on something unless it's your original content that you've created or that you have paid for the ability to utilize. As far as your handle, I think that your social media handle should be on all of your other marketing resources. Your social media handles should be on your website. They should be on print media marketing. Business cards, I think that's a little too much because now you're having too much stuff on your business cards, and that's an entirely different story. But they should absolutely be on your website. They should be in, your email signature. They, just by virtue of the fact that you're posting something, people are going to be seeing your social media handle because they're going to be on your social media. But if you want to, let's say, for example, you have, 2,500 Instagram followers, but you only have 100 people on Facebook, post your Facebook handle on Instagram and give some kind of incentive for people to go over and follow you on Facebook as well, if that's appropriate to your business. So I do think, though, that making sure that when you post something, people who are looking at it can at least recognize that it's coming from you, and they can recognize that it's your content and it's coming from you is important. And that's something that just as you start going through it, you kind of get used to. Okay, so let me see. I think that is all the questions that we have. Oh no, wait, hold on. I see one more that I missed. Oh no, I'm sorry, I answered that one. Let me just do one more check here. Usually I can pop this out. so it's larger, but for some reason it's not happening for me today. I think, yes, I think that's everything. So please, and that's perfect timing because we are just about out of time. Please, if you have any personal questions or questions you'd like to ask offline, please don't ever hesitate to email me or give my office a call. And I absolutely love working with my small business clients, particularly my solos and my startups. And one of my passions is making sure that effective legal services are available for small and solo businesses and startups. So thank you all for attending today. I hope you found this valuable. And if you're interested on seeing anything that gets into more detail on any of the particular overview topics we've discussed today, please let me know, and perhaps we'll see it in a future webinar. Thank you all and have a great afternoon.